These are the 6 things you need to know when you want to get a phone. Number one, build quality. Now, what is build quality? How the phone is built. First, the screen, what is it made of? Secondly, the frame of the phone, what is it made of? Then thirdly, that phone, if I carry it to the swimming pool, can I swim with that phone? For the first one, I spoke about what the screen made of. So when looking for a phone, go for those Corning Gorilla Glass 5 and above. Secondly now, the frame of the phone, the corners in the phone, like these corners. Are they made of metal or are they made of plastic or glass? The frame is going to give the phone the corner protection or edge protection so that whenever your phone falls at the edge, it's going to what? Be protected. That's what if you see many phones that crack, it's from the edges they start cracking from. So whenever I get a phone, try and know if the phone has a metal frame so that whenever it falls, it's going to be more protected. For the third one, we're talking about what? Water resistance. Is the phone water resistant? For that, we have what we call IP rating. Now, IP rating tells you how strong your phone can survive in water. Now, if your phone doesn't have an IP rating, just know that if your phone is in water, you are going to put it inside rice. Get a phone that has at least an IP rating so that you know that you are water covered. We have IP53, IP54 and above. IP54 to IP66. Those are dust and splash resistant phones. The higher the IP rating, the stronger the phone will survive water. Whenever you see a phone of IP67, 68, 69 and above, those phones, water cannot kill them. Those are the phones that you can go into your swimming pool, dip it inside, with your phone being safe.
Now, when you look at these two phones, you can see that the first one has a more rigid frame, right? Both have plastic frames, but the first one has a more rigid plastic frame compared to the second one. You can see the second one, the frame is also plastic but looking weak, and you can see it's affected the screen too. So there was not enough edge protection because one frame was stronger than the other. So ensure you try to get at least a metal frame or a strong plastic or glass frame so that your phone edges will be protected. When you take a look at both phones, I also spoke about the speakers. Now one has a mono speaker while one has a double stereo speakers. Now the dual stereo speakers are on this black one which I'm touching, while the mono speakers are on the one that is light blue. You can see the black one I'm touching. It has speakers at the top and at the bottom, while the other one has speakers only at the bottom. So because of that, the black one is going to sound louder and richer than the light blue one that doesn't have speaker at the top, right? And also, if you are into vlogging or you are recording any video and you want your voice to be clear, you also see that one has a mic at the top and at the bottom, so that mic will give off clearer sound and will make the videos come out well. Let's compare both speakers. Now the first one, I'll be using the mono speaker. You can see it doesn't have a speaker at the top, only at the bottom. So let's hear what it sounds like.
Adina brings enough life into the village for 5. No sooner than she heals, she makes the man float her again.
Okay, so now the one with the dual stereo speakers that has a mic at the top and at the bottom. Let's hear how it sounds compared to the one that has only a single speaker.
Adina brings enough life into the village for 5. No sooner than
You can see
heals, she makes the man
there is a
float her
huge
again.
difference. You can see the one with the dual stereo speakers sound louder.
The second thing you need to know about phones is the display. What is the display that the phone is using? We have three types of screens. We have the LCD screen, we have the OLED screen, and we have the AMOLED screen. LCD screen is the least screen, but your OLED and AMOLED screens, those your high-end Samsungs or your high-end phones, Redmi and the rest, those are the screens they use, your OLED and AMOLED screens. Those screens bring out the beauty from what you are watching. So before you get a phone, check if that phone has LCD display or AMOLED or OLED display. Always go for AMOLED or OLED display phones. And also, we have what we call pixels. For screen resolution, what do we have? We have 720p, we have 1080p, we have 1.5K resolution, we have 2K display. We also have phones that have 4K, 8K. The barest minimum you should go for is 1080p. 1080p and above is what you go for. Also in display, we also have what we call refresh rate. Now what does refresh rate mean? It means how your screen will refresh per second. We have the 60 Hz, which is the least. We have the 90 Hz, 120 Hz, 144 Hz, and so on. Please, when getting a phone, ensure that the least refresh rate should be what? 90 Hz. From 90 Hz and above, the difference is not much. If you get a phone of 60 Hz, your phone will lag.
Now, if you look at both phones, you see that the one at the top has the way better display because it's the one that's using the AMOLED display, while the one below is using the LCD display. The camera isn't doing justice to this video, trust me. The one at the top that's using the AMOLED screen has a way better display than the one below using the LCD. So ensure you get the AMOLED or the OLED display screen whenever you're getting your phone.
So you can see the refresh rates I was talking about. This one 90 Hz is capped at 90 Hz, but this one is capped at 120 Hz. So ensure that the phone you have should have at least 90 Hz. You can see for smoother animations, right? So if you leave it at 60 Hz, it's going to be your phone will be. You can see the phone is lagging already. You can see, but this phone is kind of more lag. It's lagging more for this. But when you put at 90 Hz, you can see a more smoother experience, right? So that's the same. Then 120 is way smoother, but ensure that you should have at least a 90 Hz phone. Most importantly, come closer. Listen to this one. Performance. Very important. If you don't want your phone to lag, if you want to play the latest games, if you want to be among the big boys, ensure that you know the performance of the phone. Now for that performance, what do we have? We have the CPU and the what? The GPU. These things have processors. We have different company of processors. We have the MediaTek, we have the Snapdragon, we have the Exynos and Unisoc. MediaTek and Snapdragons, they are the most popular. For MediaTek, we have the A series, the P series, the G series, and the Dimensity series. Don't ever go for phones that have the A series of MediaTek and the P series of MediaTek. What do I mean? MediaTek A something or MediaTek P blah blah blah. Don't ever go for those ones. You should be going for what? MediaTek Helio G. And that G is from what? From G70, at least G70 and above. For 2025, if you want to get a phone, you should have what? The MediaTek Helio G99 and above. With that G99, you'll be able to play your games like your PUBG, your Call of Duty. Your phone is going to be smooth. Your cameras are also going to be good because the processor is also going to affect how your camera performs. This is to tell you how important that processor is. Processor is like everything about the phone. If you have a bad processor, your phone is useless. That's if the phone you're getting has MediaTek. So for Snapdragon, get at least Snapdragon 835 or 845 and above. These companies, no matter what they make, avoid them. Exynos, Unisoc TC, any MediaTek Helio P series or A series. You might be wondering, what about the S23s, S24s, S22s? Don't they use Exynos? Yes, but Exynos and Snapdragon, they are two different things. Exynos usually causes heating, but that's a story for another day. Let's also talk about the storage space. You want to have a phone that's able to carry the apps you're going to download, your videos and your pictures. We have the RAM and the ROM. Pay attention. The ROM is the one that holds your apps, your pictures and your videos, your games, everything is the ROM that holds it. While the RAM is what stores the apps you open. For instance, if you open a game, then you pause it, then you go somewhere, then you come back to the game. It's the RAM that holds up that game for where it stopped. The higher the RAM, the longer you'll be able to hold that thing where it stopped. Ensure that the least RAM you should get a 6 GB RAM. That will hold your game for a longer period. If you have lower RAM from 4 GB RAM below, it's not going to hold up. The moment you leave the app, it's going to start all over again. Then for the ROM, have at least a 64 or 128. I will say 128 because it's the barest minimum.
In both phones, you can see the processors. One has G99 and one has G85. Now, as I said before, the barest minimum is G99. So you're going to run your favorite games like PUBG, Call of Duty and the rest. And for your phone to run smooth, you need at least Helio G99. Not that the Helio G85 in the other phone is bad, but for 2025, just buy Helio G99. Now you can see in both phones there are different storage spaces. Remember I spoke about the RAM and the ROM. For the RAM, endeavor you get at least 6 GB of RAM and above to be able to hold your apps. While for the ROM, ensure you get at least 128 gig and above.
The fourth thing you need to know is what? The cameras. I told you processors also affect how your camera works. And what does it affect? It affects the quality your camera shoots in. We have resolutions for shooting video, just as for the display. We have your 720p, 1080p, 2K, and 4K. The least you should have your phone shoot in is the 2K. Ensure that your phone supports what? 2K quality. Ensure that you check for the megapixels. Now the MP, you see something like 108 MP, 8 MP, those MPs are not for show. They are what? Megapixels. They will show you the number of pixels because many pixels combined is what gives you your image. So the more pixels your camera can cover, the more better the picture quality will be. Even though I know higher MP does not mean better pictures because the sensor that is being used, we'll get to sensor later, but when getting a phone, ensure that you have the one with the highest MP. Selfie should be 16 MP while your rear camera, the back camera should be what? 50 MP and above to have good image quality.
You can see for the cameras of both phones, you can see the rear and the front camera. Now you can see one has 50 MP, one has 48 MP for the rear, while the other one has 50 MP in the front and the other one has 8 MP in the front. Now for the rear cameras, the least you should get is 50 MP, while for the front camera, the least you should get is 16 MP. You can see for the video quality, one has 2K and the other one has 1080p. Ensure that your cameras should have at least 2K for the video quality.
The fifth thing you need in a phone is about the software. Now, let's forget about AI. Yes, I know all the phones nowadays have AI and all of that, but who will really use the AI? Nobody will use the AI. What you really need is the version, which we call the Android version of the phone. For 2025, I don't want to go into too more details. From now, any phone you're going to be getting should have at least Android 13. Android 12 does not support some apps that they make nowadays. That's all I have to say for your software. So for software, you can see the Android version I was speaking about. This Android version 12, Android version 14. Ensure that the phone you have should be at least Android 13. Sixth thing, and which is even the most important thing, I would say, in my opinion, is the battery. Battery and the charger. Now for the battery, we have what we call mAh, which is milliampere hour. I don't want to waste your time. You should have at least 5,000 milliampere hours. That's 5,000 mAh and above. Anything less than that is not going to give, is not going to last for you. Then for charging, the charger you see of 10 watts, 18 watts, even 120 watts. You need at least 15 to 18 watts and above for a fast charging experience. Anything less than 15 to 18 watts is not advisable. So here you can see for the battery, both phones have 5,000 milliamp hours, which is aligning with what I said before about your phone having at least 5,000 milliampere hours for it to last at all. This is a 45 watts charger, as you can see. And like I said, any charger you should be getting should have at least 15 to 18 watts. Meaning the phone you are going to buy, not the charger you are going to buy after you bought the phone. No. When you are buying the phone, the charger that they give you with the phone should be at least 18 watts and above so that it can charge fast. In all of this, if you have followed my video to this point, you are now ready to buy your phone. That salary that you have worked for, the labor or whatever job you are doing, your business, whatever that has paid you, the money will now be worth the phone that you are going to buy. I hope this has helped you to get a phone. If you have any other questions you want to ask, please drop it in the comments. I'll be willing to assist as much as I can so that you can have your money's worth. Let your phone be a phone that even if you spend a little money, you're able to get at least the barest minimum from a phone so that you'll be happy and you can be productive with your phone. Thank you.